The government is taking to the skies in an effort to rein in polluters. White House correspondent Pam Coulter.
The Obama administration's already set new emission standards for cars, big trucks, and power plants, and is now looking at airplanes. The EPA is considering whether to declare greenhouse gas emissions from planes a danger to human health, a step toward regulations to cut those emissions. David Doniger of the Natural Resources Defense Council.
Air travel is a big and growing part of the carbon pollution that's driving climate change.
New regulations are expected to be limited to commercial aircraft. Pam Coulter, CBS News, the White House.
Harvard University says it's received its largest gift in its long history, a $400 million donation from John Paulson, Wall Street investor. The engineering school will be named in his honor. Paulson manages a firm worth more than $19 billion. Steve Kathan, CBS News.
Today on fleaspray.com, you will learn why new No-Mo Flea and Tick Spray is totally safe for dogs, cats, puppies, kittens, kids, babies crawling on the carpet, and even you. New No-Mo Flea and Tick Spray kills fleas and ticks with no poison. So as of today, you can stop using poison powders, poison collars, or poison foggers. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad. New No-Mo Flea is made from vegetable oil. No-Mo Flea dissolves the hard shell of a flea or tick on contact, so the moist insides of that flea or tick just dry up. No-Mo Flea instantly. No more ticks soon thereafter. Best of all, no more poison ever. Before your beloved pet ventures out in the backyard again, order a 30 or 60-day supply of new No-Mo Flea. Do it today at fleaspray.com, fleaspray.com. FLEASPRAY.com.
Excuse me, lips. This is the brain. A little less smacking would be nice.
It's this Rita's Italian ice. I can't stop smiling. You must really like me.
Settle down. Their signature Italian ice is an outrageously delicious explosion of tastiness made fresh every day with real fruit. There's nothing else like it in the world.
Ooh, it is so good. I could kiss you right now.
Fortunately, that's physically impossible.
Visit 12286 Warwick Boulevard in Newport News and 2328 West Mercury Boulevard in Hampton for Rita's.
The place for authentic Indian food is the India Palace. They feature authentic Indian cuisine, have a party hall, and do catering and banquets. Open daily for lunch and dinner, they showcase an excellent lunch buffet at their Chesapeake and Virginia Beach locations. Visit their two locations at 1437 Sam's Drive in Chesapeake off of Battlefield Boulevard and 5600 Virginia Beach Boulevard in Virginia Beach, and online at IndiaPalaceVB.com. On Facebook, look for India Palace Virginia Beach and India Palace Bar and Grill. Dine at the India Palace today.
The place to go for U.S. rare coins is Newcastle Coins and Collectibles in Chesapeake. They specialize in U.S. and silver and gold coins and provide free verbal offers and are always buying U.S. rare coins. Newcastle Coins and Collectibles, 681 North Battlefield Boulevard in Chesapeake, across from Chesapeake General, open Tuesday through Saturday and always online at NewcastleCollectibles.com. Call 757-609-3633, 757-609-3633 for Newcastle Coins and Collectibles. Chesapeake, Virginia, 1650 AM WHKT presents Sports Scene. Sports Scene features local, regional, and nationally acclaimed guests and excellent interviews. Follow Sports Scene on Twitter at Greg Bick and at GJBTV.com. Now here is Greg Bicouvaris.
All right, this is Sports Scene. I got to ask you, first of all, Ken, I'm looking at the weather outside, and you do the weather all the time here. I can't tell right now if it's spring, summer, fall, or winter.
Well, you can always tell it's early summer because it's raining and it's hot.
Yep. And the grass, of course, as well. Of course, folks, this is Sports Scene every Wednesday. We kind of lighten it up a little bit after CBS News for the hour. Every Wednesday from noon to 1, tell your friends. This is Sports Scene right here on News Talk 1650. Also, tunein.com. Very simple on your computer or phone. Type in WHKT to listen online. Don't forget sports highlights on nnpstv.com. Go right there to the homepage. See the Norfolk Tides being featured this month on a couple interviews. This is your home for CBS News. Tell your friends about 1650 on Facebook and Twitter. Twitter, go to gjbtv.com. You'll see my 4 Twitter handles right there. Greg Bick, Sports Highlight without the S at the end, GJBTV, HROnlineMall.com. Thank you to our military, great guest lineup as well. Sponsors on gjbtv.com homepage and marketplace sponsors, as well as HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com, and that's our guest lineup as well, presented by HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com. Browse, shop, visit all the businesses. Just click. The image takes you to the website. No typing, no Googling, no searching. Just click the image, takes you to the website. How easy is that? I want to thank our sponsors for the month of June. We're already into the 3rd day. Hard to believe. Rita's Italian Ice, Hilton Tavern, Newcastle, Friendly Mover, Crawl Space Stores, Soprano, and India Palace. Next week, Active Computers. The week of the 15th, it'll be, of course, me, Hogar. And I always tell the same thing to my fans, and I tell Ken, it's always good to have great sponsors. MiCasitaMexican.com in 2 locations in Virginia Beach. Also, Zaxby's.com. Indescribably good food for over 25 years with Peninsula locations as well. And don't forget BlueSushiCafe.com as well, and Buffalo Wild Wings. One thing about BlueSushiCafe.com, Chris Green there, the manager, is a through hiker. Really interesting. We got him on Sports Highlights with the Norfolk Tides this month on NNPSTV.com. And Ken, that's not easy being a through hiker. You got to hike the Appalachian Trail pretty much to do that.
You've got to have really good legs, good feet, good back, and good grief. I couldn't do it if I had to.
Yeah, just walking from my house to my car is enough through hiking for me. Anyway, we'll stay tuned for some great guests. Jay Randolph, formerly of NBC Sports. We get the elite guests right here on Sports Scene, live on the radio on 1650 AM at 1210. News Talk 1650. TuneIn.com. Type in WHKT. Tell your friends. This is live radio on 1650.
Excuse me, Lips. This is the brain. A little less smacking would be nice.
It's this Rita's Italian Ice. I can't stop smiling. You must really like me.
Settle down. Their signature Italian ice is an outrageously delicious explosion of tastiness made fresh every day with real fruit. There's nothing else like it in the world.
Ooh, it is so good. I could kiss you right now.
Fortunately, that's physically impossible.
Visit 12286 Warwick Boulevard in Newport News and 2328 West Mercury Boulevard in Hampton for Rita's.
Nor'easter season is here, so don't get all wet. Protect your house. Call Crawl Space Door Systems at 363-0005. Reduce your flood insurance, reduce the threat of mold and insects, and save energy. Crawl Space Doors, air vents, flood vents, vent covers, and fans can help you stay dry or get you dry quickly. Contact Crawl Space Doors for more information at 363-0005 or online at crawlspacedores.com. Stay dry, my friends.
Now back to Greg Bicouvaris and Sports Scene in the Hampton Roads Online Mall.com studio.
But first, let me take a selfie.
All right, back live right here on the radio. News Talk 1650, your 10,000-watt voice of CBS News and Hampton Roads, of course. And don't forget, TuneIn.com. Type in WHKT to listen on your phone or your computer. We've had this gentleman on several times when I worked at the game. We've had him on this radio station as well. I worked with him when he was at NBC Sports as one of the lead announcers for golf. He's also done bowling, been the voice of the Cardinals, the Reds, the Marlins. It continues, bowling, NFL football, you name it. Jay Randolph is Mr. Golf as well. Jay from St. Louis, how are you, my friend?
I'm well, Greg. How are you?
Good, always a pleasure. Kind of rainy and kind of a sloppy day so far. How about in Missouri?
Well, we've had a lot of rain over the last couple of weeks, but Cardinals were able to play last night, and it was a lovely evening at the ballpark. Prior to that, we'd had a couple of interruptions in a couple of games, but you know, I learned a long time ago not to count too much on the weather forecast and to just roll with it the best you can.
Right. Now, you and your son are doing a golf show in St. Louis. Kind of give us up to par what you're doing. And I guess he's told you all about the technology, about listening online. What are your thoughts? Because when you work for the TV networks, you couldn't listen on your phone or your computer.
Well, no. People always ask me what's the greatest change in the business, and it's the technology. It's just remarkable. Jay Jr. and I do 2 golf shows a week on 550 here, one on Thursday evening from 7 to 8, and then one on Sunday morning from 8 to 9. And we talk golf both locally, nationally, and, of course, internationally now. That's another big change, the international aspect of the game and the way it's grown. It's just remarkable, the young talent that's coming from all over the world. And it's interesting, too, when you tie it into the way the game is covered today, and the television coverage, the internet coverage, the it's streaming online, everything. I can't keep up with all of that, but anyway, it's great.
Absolutely. Talking to Jay Randolph. This is Greg Bicouvaris right here on Sports Scene. Before we talk about the Cardinals and some other sports news, let's go ahead and talk about golf. It seems like this year, Jay, it's just been a lot of different winners. And, of course, Tiger is not a factor as much in 2015. What are your thoughts about the U.S. Open? It seems like it's going to be wide open.
Well, I think it is wide open for a couple of reasons. There's so many good young players who will be teeing it up at Chambers Bay. Chambers Bay is a very unusual golf course. I've never played it, but I've talked to many people who have, and it's going to present a fascinating challenge, I think. It's just out of Spokane, Washington, and it's really, in a way, a links-style course, and the weather will come into play possibly there. But I'm anxious to see how the players handle this golf course. It's a very tough test. They played the U.S. Amateur there a couple of years ago. Oh, that to me is interesting, as well as McIlroy has been the number one player for a long time now, but at the same time, he has to be disappointed the way he played at the Irish Open, and also missing the cut at Charlotte. And you look at Jordan Spieth, who I call golf's golden child. He's just amazing. He didn't play very well down in Dallas last weekend, his hometown. Of course, they had so much water down there, it was almost impossible to play. The greenskeeping crew at Las Colinas in Dallas deserves a lot of credit for them getting that tournament in 4 days. But you really have a depth of talent, maybe as much talent coming into this tournament, and as much interest as any time I can remember an Open coming up. Certainly the USGA did a fabulous job last year, having the Women's Open and the Men's Open back-to-back at Pinehurst, and was a tremendous success. Sure. But I'm very anxious to see how it goes out of Chambers Bay.
Talking to Jay Randolph, this is Greg Bicouvaris. Glad you're with us live on the radio and News Talk 1650. And Jay, I got to ask you this too, because Kings Mill is up for sale again, and of course the Anheuser-Busch family owned it for years. It's been sold a few times since then, and what a beautiful resort it is. But it's up for sale, and so goes sponsorship, and so goes money. And they played the LPGA golf event there this year that was showcased on the Golf Channel without a signature sponsor for the tournament. That's almost unheard of in 2015, Jay.
Well, it is. The LPGA, I think, is slowly on the rise. Again, tremendously talented international stars coming from all over the place. And the new commissioner of the LPGA has done a very fine job. I think the women are playing better. They're more attractive. I think they're drawing a little better. And certainly a lot of people enjoy watching them on television. You can learn a lot watching some of these top women play and swing the golf club. But Kings Mill has many wonderful memories for me, of course. My involvement with Anheuser-Busch and Budweiser and Michelob over the years. And then, of course, Kings Mill on the James, getting back there to an area where I used to play junior golf in Norfolk and Richmond. It's always wonderful, and it's a terrific facility. And I mean, I'll be interested to see if the tournament can continue there. As you mentioned, they did not have a signature sponsor, but again, I think the LPGA is strengthening their hold on the sponsors they do have, and I think they'll be picking up some more, because I really think women's golf is at a period of time now where it's going to grow a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Talking to Jay Randolph right here on Sports Scene. Don't forget, folks, go to gjbtv.com, hit the YouTube link for archive shows. Greg Bick on Twitter, glad you're with us. And, of course, you look at the guys, a lot with Watson, and I remember Hale Irwin in Medina in 1990 when I was a kid working for ABC, watching that wonderful event. I'm not sure, Jay, if the younger golfers are going to sustain like Palmer and Nicholas and Watson and Hale Irwin have in the past that are still playing today.
Well, of course, that we won't know that until we see what happens in a few years. I mean, I frankly think that somebody like McIlroy, somebody like Spieth, some of these other young people, they're just coming from everywhere. I'm sure some of them will have some real star power and longevity. It's just amazing how good these people are today, and I don't know what else to say except I really enjoy watching them hit the golf ball, and it's a new time for golf. We're going into a new era. The guard is kind of changing a little bit, and we'll see. Ask me that question 5 years from now, and we'll see if we haven't got a couple of superstars out there who are in the same class as, a Palmer or a Nicholas or a Gary Player or something like that, because I think we probably will have a couple.
Yeah, what really baffled the people around this area, and you know this better than anybody, because you called his matches on NBC, was Curtis Strange, Jay, that he won the back-to-back U.S. Open, which is unheard of, in 88 and 89, got burned out, really never was the same in the PGA Tour, never did anything in the Senior Tour as a commentator. He's a decent commentator. He's not a great commentator, but just because you're a big name doesn't mean you're going to be a great commentator, and you know that firsthand by the NFL. But
I sure do.
he really just never evolved after that, and that still baffled a lot of people that this better than anybody. Golf is just as much a mental game.
Well, as my son always says, Dad, it's a hard game.
Yeah.
And it really is a hard game. And I've known a lot of fellas who looked like they were going to be superstars and won a couple of majors and really had a great stretch for a year or two, like Curtis, and then all of a sudden they just couldn't do it couldn't play at that level anymore. And I don't know how you explain that. Sometimes it's injuries, sometimes it's mental, sometimes it's just something that happens. They're in the wrong place at the right time, or the right place at the wrong time, depending on how you want to look at it. But I just think that it's a game that really is, to me, it's the greatest game individually.
Sure.
Because it really tests your physical and mental abilities. And it's remarkable to see the shape these guys are in today. When I started playing competitive golf and then later announced golf, a lot of the guys got most of their physical exercise from lifting a cocktail in the evening.
Yeah. Sounds like that was something I would like to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bourbon wouldn't hurt anybody. But anyway, let's switch gears to the Cardinals. I got to ask you, first of all, do you ever see Red or Vern Rapp at all anymore?
Well, I see Red. Red comes to the ballpark every home game.
Oh, wow.
He is amazing. He's nearly 90 now, and he puts on the uniform and spends some time with the younger players out on the field, still hits some fungos. He didn't get to spring training this year for the first time ever because he was battling a very bad influenza, a cold situation, but Shane Dienst is a tremendous guy and still so much a part of Cardinal lore and the Cardinal way. Haven't seen Vern Rapp in years. Don't even know where he is.
Wow. Well,
I can tell you that certainly when you think of, in fact, tomorrow evening I'm doing a thing for public television here about Stan Musial. When you think of Musial, you have to think of Shane Dienst and two of the great Cardinals, and it's been a pleasure to know both of them, of course. And the Cardinals have done a remarkable job of keeping their alumni involved and really having the situation where tradition is so valuable to this franchise. over 40,000 every night to see them play at home. We had almost 43,000 at the game last night. And I was down and went on the air for a couple innings with Mike Shannon on radio, and I sat there and I looked at that field and I looked at that crowd and the enthusiasm, and it's just amazing how Cardinal baseball, frankly, I mean, this is the best franchise in baseball, no question about it.
Yeah, I totally agree. And of course, I've covered a lot of the Cardinals when they play the Nationals on Fox and so forth. And the Nationals, they're there, but they're not at that level. I'm not sure if they'll ever get to that Cardinals level. Not many teams will. And you look, and look at this, Jay. You talk about Gibson, Stan, Red, Ozzie, Mike Shannon, the great Jim Hart when he played for the football Cardinals, Dan Deerdorf. So many great names have played for the football Cardinals and the baseball Cardinals both.
Yeah, there's no question about that, and we've had a great many of them stay in the community. They're still here. Dan Deerdorf is still here, and I was having lunch recently with Tim Van Gelder, who was one of the quarterbacks for the old football Cardinals. But I mean, it's just the way this town is. It's Midwestern. It loves its heroes. It supports its teams. A lot of disappointment here about the hockey team not getting any farther once they got in the playoffs with the best record in the National Hockey League. But all in all, it's been a great place to work over the years and a great place to be. And I've been very humbled and honored to know so many outstanding players.
Talking to Jay Randolph, formerly of NBC Sports, still heard on St. Louis radio. Greg Bicouvaris, glad you're with us. And Jay, you talk about this year's Cardinals. Matheny's just keeping on. And, of course, you talk about Hayward and Wong and Holiday and Molina, Reynolds, Lynn, Lackey, Garcia. So many good names for the Cardinals. They continue to roll.
I'm going to give you a name that is relatively new, Grichuk.
Okay.
And this young man is an outfielder with tremendous talent. He got a couple of hits in the game last night that were key. He runs like the wind. He made a play out in left field the other night that nobody in baseball, I think, could have made but him. And your listeners, if they follow baseball, follow Grichuk, because this is a young man who has got a chance to be a definite five-tool player.
Wow.
And a long and great career, I think. We'll see in the next year or two, but I'm really, at the moment, I'm on his bandwagon big time.
Yeah, you talk about the Dodgers, the Nats, the Mets, the Astros, the Yankees, but how about those Royals, Jay? I mean, you remember 30 years ago was the Cardinals and the Royals in the World Series.
I do remember, and the Royals have suffered through some very, very bad baseball over the years, but they've done a good job over the last 5-6 years in getting this team and getting their overall operation to where it should be. Kansas City's a great sports town. I mean, they support the Chiefs like as well as anybody is supported in the National Football League. They have a professional soccer team now. Great college basketball over there with Kansas, and certainly they've got a wonderful new center downtown, the Sprint Center, with the basketball there and a great facility. These two towns are somewhat similar, but I would have to say that really when it comes to baseball, the Cardinals are the best.
Absolutely. Well, I got to get your thoughts, too. You've called West Virginia, the Cowboys, SMU, the Reds, the Marlins. We all know that. Great announcer. You work for NBC for decades. NBC's got the Belmont this week. And right now, I'm going to go on a limb and say American Pharoah's going to win. Is this finally going to be the year that we're going to have a Triple Crown horse winner on NBC?
Well, I'm not going out on that limb with you. I hope so.
Sure.
I think it would be wonderful for thoroughbred racing that in the 37th year since we've had a Triple Crown winner, that this horse gets the job done. History's against it. It's very hard for a 3-year-old to win 3 races in 7 weeks at the level these horses run at in the Triple Crown. And I hope that this horse can get the job done, but I'm not particularly counting on it.
A couple quick questions for you, Jay. Pete Rose is working now for Fox. Do you think now the new commissioner, he should be in the Hall of Fame?
Well, I think he should be in the Hall of Fame, no question about that. And Pete and I have been great friends for many, 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 many years. And he was here in St. Louis, in fact, at a ballpark for a presentation about a week or 10 days ago. The new commissioner also was here this week, and I think he's trying to, along with everybody in baseball, figure out a way to get something done to see that Pete deserves a little more credit that he's been given. It'll be interesting to see what they do at the All-Star game in Cincinnati this year. But no, I think, a lot of people forget that he went to jail and he paid his dues.
Sure.
And, I get a kick out of these people. Well, he cheated. Let me tell you this. I've been around baseball for almost 55 years now, and a lot of people cheat in baseball. Everybody's looking for an edge. And I could sit here and talk to you for hours about pitchers that have cheated and are still cheating.
Right.
And talk about people who are trying to get an edge. So it's just the way sports is, especially at the highest level. Look at what happened with the cycling, for instance, road touring. And, look at what's been going on
with soccer,
in trying to get these sites for the FIFA World Cup.
No question.
It's just part of the game. It's nice, and I appreciate mothers and fathers saying, well, you've got to do it the right way. And I think more and more people are doing it the right way now. And the steroid thing is not over completely, believe me, but it's certainly in a better situation at all levels, the Olympics and baseball and major sports.
Jay, when you and your wife turn on network television now, whether it's sports or these news shows, what are your thoughts about the commentators today? It seems like, and I'm not picking on the women, but when you watch CNN and MSNBC and Fox, but too much emotion, too much smiling. My mother didn't like the fact that they would frown when the story. What happened to being neutral, Jay? Number one, and number two, a lot of there's so many TV networks for sports. It seems like half of these are just kids cutting their teeth with very little experience. Even the local news you watch here locally on our channels, it seems like beginner 101.
Yeah, it was the same way here,
Yes.
and the reason is there's just so much of it.
Right.
It's like pork chops smothered in pork chops. Eventually it doesn't work, and you get tired of it, but I don't really watch that much local news. I do watch Channel 4, usually at 6 o'clock, because I worked there for 22 years, but I don't watch, the Fox or the CNBCs or all of these other things. I believe it or not, your listeners might have a hard time understanding, but I watch PBS as much as anybody, and I think their programming is interesting, and I think it's very, very good programming, and the networks are fighting some terrible battles today, trying to figure out what to do. We have so many of these cable stations. We have so many sports channels. It's just like talk radio sports. It's going through a situation.
Sure.
We've had one station go out of business here in a fight where one of the fellas is suing another one, and we've had terrible situations with some of our talk radio stations here. And it frankly is just a joke, and it is kind of like a sixth grade class. It's the kiddie core, and but that's the way it is. There's so many stations and so many jobs out there. My greatest joy is to watch MLB when they're going around the country to all of the games and listen to the announcers. And when I'm fortunate enough to get the Dodgers to listen to Vin Scully at age 85, working alone,
wow,
and telling the stories and broadcasting baseball. I mean, nobody can do that except Vin Scully anymore.
I remember we were together at the Hertz Bay Hill in 1988. I'm not sure if you were there or not in Orlando at Arnold Palmer's course. He was there commentating, doing the golf, doing the NFL, kind of like you were back in the day. But your thoughts on that? It just shows you how it's just sometimes it's evolved for the best, and sometimes it's evolved for the worst. You're exactly right.
First of all, I would say this, Greg. 99 and 44 100% of the people who are doing television sports talk too much.
Sure. Way too much. Learn from Larry King the way he did it. Short questions, short answers.
There you go.
That's what I do as well. And Jay, always a pleasure to talk to you. All the best to you and your son as well. And I've got to be remiss, Jay. I've got to bring it up. It makes me sick in my stomach. I know, to each his own on this next topic, because you remember him in the Olympics when he was Bruce Jenner. Now I'm not.
I don't know what to think about all
that.
that.
I'm not gonna. I'm gonna get my producer Ken Johnson's take on this as well. I'm not gonna knock him at all. But what I'm knocking is the narcissistic, show me, in your face, got to do TV interviews. If you want to do it, go about it, do it, to each his own. Not knocking whether he wants to be a man or a woman, which is unnatural in my opinion to begin with, and that's my opinion. But who cares about all the narcissism that goes with it, Jay?
Well, again, you've got these all these cable channels. This is the kind of thing they're looking for.
Sure.
And they search for it all the time and try to create these situations where they can get a story and ride it for weeks at a time.
Ken, your thoughts?
I agree with you as far as keep it to yourself. He's making a buck. You know, what else is he going to do nowadays?
Right.
He's got nothing else going on, so this is his way to make a few coins. Although he's involved with the Kardashians, they make $1 here and there for whatever it is they're doing. I haven't figured that out yet.
Yeah.
But keep it to yourself. What got me, and I posted it the other day, I said apparently world peace has been declared. There's no issues. The government's running smoothly because all the news stations are falling all over themselves talking about what is it, Kylie Jenner? Caitlyn Jenner. That's the main news story. It's all over the place. Every single news source, that's the lead story.
Really? Whether you can go to a golf club or not.
So I guess ISIS has disappeared, and our government, all the debt's been washed away. Everything's right with the world.
Let's talk about Bruce Jenner. Anyway, Jay, all the best. Good luck.
It's mind-boggling, isn't it?
Yeah, hey, let me ask you, has Mike Shannon still got his restaurant there?
Yes, Mike has his restaurant right downtown, right next to the ballpark, and he also has opened a restaurant in Edwardsville, Illinois, across the river, a wonderful restaurant there in Edwardsville, which has been a booming town over in southern Illinois.
Best steaks are in the Midwest, folks. The best steaks in the Midwest, Jay. Jay, let me ask you one more question, just because a lot of our fans listening. When you were doing a lot of the long commentating and golf and football games, were you a coffee drinker? What was that one drink that you needed an edge for to get you through the day sometimes on the road?
Well, I don't know that I did drink coffee, and I never before a game, but after a game I enjoyed a gin on the rocks.
Sure.
Gin was my drink of choice most of the time, but and beer, and now I drink red wine, and
of course.
My doctors won't let me drink gin.
Yeah.
But I never had a problem about getting up or being ready or having a little edge before a broadcast. I did all my own homework. I didn't have anybody do it for me.
Sure.
And I would get interested in the broadcast by doing the homework and by looking forward to the broadcast. And doing live sports, I never let myself think, well, if this happened, or how would I end it if this happened, or anything else. I just was ready to roll and excited, and when the red light went on, you did it. And I didn't have any problem about getting up or down or anything else. I was so thrilled to have the opportunity to be beaming into thousands and thousands of homes with whatever I was doing, and just tried to, punctuate the picture, so to speak.
Absolutely. Jay, all the best to you and your wife. Continued health and happiness, and make sure you get a steak on me next time. Say hello to Mike Shannon and all the great people in St. Louis.
Thank you, Greg. Always a pleasure to visit with you.
You too, Jay. Thank you so much. Ken, a real pro right there from NBC Sports, Jay Randolph.
Oh, yeah, and you can tell.
A great voice as well. Stay tuned. We'll continue with Sports Scene live after these messages.
Hello, Toes. This is the brain. Is all this wiggling absolutely necessary?
We've never been this happy. Whatever it is you're drinking up there is cooling us off all the way down here.
Now that you mention it, we happen to be enjoying a new Rita's frozen drink. Your favorite flavor of their signature Italian ice turned into an intensely flavorful frozen beverage. The perfect refreshment on a hot summer day.
More, please.
Don't be a piggy.
Haven't heard that one before.
Visit 12286 Warwick Boulevard in Newport News and 2328 West Mercury Boulevard in Hampton for Rita's. For over 25 years, people have counted on one name for all their residential and commercial moving needs. A friendly and affordable mover. No job is too big or too small, and they will assist you with your best interest in mind. Always providing free estimates, a friendly and affordable mover is a company you can count on. Have peace of mind on your next move with a friendly and affordable mover. Call 689-0935 or log on to lovemymover.com. The place to go for U.S. rare coins is Newcastle Coins and Collectibles in Chesapeake. They specialize in U.S. and silver and gold coins and provide free verbal offers and are always buying U.S. rare coins. Newcastle Coins and Collectibles, 681 North Battlefield Boulevard in Chesapeake, across from Chesapeake General, open Tuesday through Saturday and always online at newcastlecollectibles.com. Call 757-609-3633, 757-609-3633 for Newcastle Coins and Collectibles.
Nor'easter season is here, so don't get all wet. Protect your house. Call Crawl Space Door Systems at 363-0005. Reduce your flood insurance, reduce the threat of mold and insects, and save energy. Crawl Space Doors, air vents, flood vents, vent covers, and fans can help you stay dry or get you dry quickly. Contact Crawl Space Doors for more information at 363-0005 or online at crawlspacedores.com. Stay dry, my friends.
Now back to Greg Bicouvaris and Sports Scene in the Hampton Roads Online Mall.com studio.
All right, back live right here on the radio, booming throughout Virginia right here at 1240. Greg Bicouvaris, glad you're with us with Ken Johnson. Hope you enjoyed that first interview with Jay Randolph. We had him on before and worked at the game and here as well on News Talk 1650, formerly of NBC Sports. We're going to switch gears a little bit to what goes well with sports, and that's food. And, of course, we got Karen Hall right here from the Virginia Pork Festival going on in Emporia next week at this in a few hours after Wednesday, of course. And to fill us in, here is Karen Hall. How are you, Karen?
I'm great. How are you guys doing?
Oh, very good on this kind of cloudy, overcast day. Almost like fall, almost, really. Kind of strange.
Yeah, it's the same here.
Yeah.
Got a little drizzly day. The sun's not out. It's actually about 66 degrees.
Right. A few more months will be time to go Christmas shopping again. Go figure.
Be quiet.
But I know it. All right, Karen. You're in radio too, girl, so you can talk here. Virginia Pork Festival. How fun. Where's it going to be at?
It's in Emporia, Virginia, which is right almost on the Carolina border. This is the 42nd annual Virginia Pork Festival. It's always held on a Wednesday, and the gates open up at 3:30, and all the fun starts at 4 o'clock, and it's only a 4-hour event, but it takes probably about a good 6 to 8 months to plan it.
All right, well, let's talk about the as far as admission and parking, and how about the food?
Okay. Admission is $35 a ticket. And that includes, it's an all-inclusive ticket. When you come in, you get to go by the 30-plus booths and taste test all of the pork products. There are 5 live bands out here, and you get a drink for free.
Wow.
It's all-inclusive. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
It's a really good deal because if you go out to eat and you have a nice dinner or a nice entree, it's at least $20. So you get all this extra with it. And the entertainment this year is phenomenal.
So are you telling me that $35 ticket, you can eat and drink pretty much as you want?
Yes.
Unbelievable.
Yes, and we do encourage everybody to drink responsibly. If you are coming to the festival, make sure you have a DD.
Well, of course, because the state police will be right around the corner waiting for you.
Exactly. They're going to be here and in full force.
Absolutely. So let's talk about what kind of stuff is on the menu as far as the entrees.
Oh, wow. We have sausage biscuits. ham biscuits. We have ribs, pork burgers, country ham with red-eye gravy, BLTs, and we have barbecue chops. We have chitlins.
Right.
Do you know what those are?
Yeah, of course. Ken, do you know what those are? My producer.
Oh,
yeah.
Does he eat 'em?
Yeah.
Yeah. I might
can
try.
you believe
I might try some.
At this festival, 3,000 pounds of chitlins are eaten every year.
Goodness gracious.
That's what I said when we had to place the order, and I was like, "Are you sure about that?" And the guy was like, "Yeah."
Wow.
That's pretty on target every year. We're going to have barbecue, of course, pig's feet, Boston butt, hot dogs, and South meatballs, hot ham and cheese sandwiches, and the list goes on and on. Sausage, pork chili, steak burgers. We do have some veggies if
Ken,
you're not
you
a
wanna
pork
go?
eater.
Well, you want to go next weekend?
I'd love to.
Yeah. I tell you what.
Wednesday. Don't say weekend. It's Wednesday.
No. I never said weekend. No, I know it's Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
It's June the 10th. June the 10th. Right. Absolutely. Talking to Karen Hall from the Virginia Pork Festival. Karen, really, there's something there for everyone, pretty much.
It is. Yeah, and we've got black-eyed peas, corn on the cob, hush puppies, and desserts, banana pudding, strawberry shortcake, and a lot of great Anheuser-Busch products.
Oh, yes.
We're going to have craft beer section, and we have something for everybody. If you don't drink, we have Pepsi products and water and tea.
Just got a text from Deborah listening in Pennsylvania and Ohio. Goodness gracious. Thank you so much. People can listen on tunein.com. Type in WHKT to listen on your phone or your computer. And one thing, too, you know this, Karen, you were raised with a mother that could cook, I'm sure, that the Food Network has really elevated these type of festivals in small areas and counties throughout the United States. And this is a perfect example what you see on the weekends on the Food Network as well.
Yeah, we actually had the Travel Network, Travel Channel, Taste of America, come and did a piece on us a few years back, and that boosted, attendance a lot. But the main thing about this festival, the food is prepared here on site, and it's cooked by nonprofits and civic groups. And all these people are mom and pops, and they cook it right here on the site, and then we make a donation to their actual organization after the festival is over with.
Right.
So we have Ruerton clubs, we have hospice, we have some police clubs, 4-H clubs come in and cook, and, it's a really good event, and it's community-oriented, but we get a lot of Northern Virginia people come down, people out of state. They come from everywhere. I saw a ticket from Hawaii.
Goodness. Well, is it pretty accessible off the interstate, off 58?
It is. You take Highway 58 and you travel west, and it's just a couple of miles, and there's no way you can miss it if you come to Emporia. There's no way.
Exactly. Talking to Karen Hall, what celebrities are going to be there?
Celebrities?
I thought you might have one from the what's that show? The
Tim Smith's Climax Moonshine.
Yes.
Yeah, he's going to be here, and he's going to be signing autographs, and we're going to be giving out some samples of their moonshine, but he can only make it from 4 to 6. So if you want to see Tim, you better come early because he has a previous engagement. He's going to have to scoot out of here pretty early. You can find out anything you want to know about the festival online at vaporkfestival.com. I encourage everybody to go to that website.
Sure.
It tells the menus, tickets, outlets, prices, location, and the entertainment is phenomenal this year.
Right, and it's June the 10th, next Wednesday.
Yes.
Very good.
Yes. Can I mention the band?
Sure. Go ahead.
A lot of people love beach music, so we have a classic beach music band. The Embers are going to be here this year with Craig Woolard. And we also have Steve Owens and the Summertime Band. He's beach, and he also does a little bit of Temptations, Whispers, and he engages the crowd, gets out and does a party train. We have a powerhouse band out of Raleigh, North Carolina that does rock, pop, and some hip-hop. They do a little bit of everything, and they're awesome. We also have Albert Castilla. He has been opening some shows for Buddy Guy.
Wow. Okay.
So if you love the blues, you need to come check that out. And we have Exit 173. They do rock. And we have a lady playing acoustic guitar. She'll be strolling the grounds named Ann Meadows. But the entertainment's going to be awesome. We have a lot of good vendors coming this year, too.
Rain or shine, correct?
Yes.
And
don't say that. Don't say that.
No. say it today, but not next Wednesday. We have a lot of women listeners. They're going to ask, kids, are they allowed?
Kids are allowed. It is more of an adult-oriented festival because of the alcoholic beverages. We're not going to turn any kids away. But, there are not a lot of kids here under the age of 18 or 21.
Very good.
They're not a lot.
All right, give us the website one more time, Karen.
Okay, it's VAPorkFestival.com.
Yum. Just sounds so good.
The phone number.
Yes.
I can give you the phone number.
Sure.
It's 434-634-6611.
One more time, 434-634-6611. Your team does a great job. Looking forward to it. Very convenient. I think this is what summer's all about. Folks, if you don't go to another festival, the Greek festival is over with now, go to the Virginia Pork Festival. Right?
Yes, please.
We'll see you up there.
Us.
We will. And
right.
say hello to your staff. Say hello to everybody, Karen. Thank you.
Sure will. Thank you.
My pleasure. Karen Hall. Ken, that sounds like fun. That sounds like Virginia that we grew up in, too. Kind of, what happened to that Virginia?
It used to be the Pork, Pine, and Peanut Festival,
right,
if memory serves,
right.
But it got a little confusing with all the
yeah,
peas
exactly.
going on in here.
Popping the peas here on the radio.
Yeah, just make it the one thing, and that's the big thing. Sounds like a lot of fun, and you can't get chitlins just anywhere. There's a few restaurants here and there that will prepare them. A lot of soul food restaurants will serve them, but you just can't walk into McDonald's and get a chitlin sandwich. They don't make them.
And the people that live in Emporia and South Hill, they live there for a reason. They talk about when they want to get away from their neighbors. They really do get away from their neighbors up there, folks. Ken, let's get to highlights here.
It's now time for Greg's Highlights, presented by HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com Marketplace Pages.
And I want to thank Jay Randolph and Karen Hall so far. Jay Randolph, formerly of NBC Sports, Karen Hall from the Virginia Pork Festival. We mix sports, food, fun, pop culture, news. We do it all right here on Sports Scene every Wednesday, noon to 1. Go to gjbtv.com. Hit the YouTube link for archive shows. Go to tunein.com. Type in WHKT to listen on your phone or your computer. Of course, on the radio, 1650 AM. Shop on the Marketplace sponsors on gjbtv.com. You'll see there are several different ones like Papa John's. Also, HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com. Browse, shop, visit, Marketplace 1 through 6. You simply click the image on HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com, and it takes you to the website. No typing, Google, or search. Business Spotlight scene coming up. What teased me off? Sports highlights on NNPSTV.com. NBA Finals tomorrow. It'll be Cleveland going to Golden State. Of course, NHL, the finals as well. MLB, baseball. We mentioned to Jay Randolph how well the Yankees, Royals, Astros, Nationals, and Dodgers are doing. Stay tuned. We'll be back after these messages.
The place for authentic Indian food is the India Palace. They feature authentic Indian cuisine, have a party hall, and do catering and banquets. Open daily for lunch and dinner, they showcase an excellent lunch buffet at their Chesapeake and Virginia Beach locations. Visit their two locations at 1437 Sam's Drive in Chesapeake off of Battlefield Boulevard and 5600 Virginia Beach Boulevard in Virginia Beach, and online at IndiaPalaceVB.com. On Facebook, look for India Palace Virginia Beach and India Palace Bar and Grill. Dine at the India Palace today.
Spring is back, and so are the Norfolk Tides. Catch the fun and excitement as your Norfolk Tides take the field at beautiful Harbor Park. Bring your friends and family to root on the Orioles of tomorrow today. Log on to NorfolkTides.com for information on season tickets, groups, ticket discounts, and Tides merchandise. Follow the Tides on Twitter and Facebook for updates on promotions and player moves. Tides Baseball, minor leagues, major fun.
Discover what the locals already know. Quality comfort food and a pleasant atmosphere at the Hilton Tavern in Newport News. Open daily for lunch and dinner. They showcase the best burgers in town. Philly steak sandwiches, crab cake, wing, pulled pork barbecue, brisket, salads, and much, much more. They handle catering, banquets, and special events. Hilton Tavern is on Facebook. Call 599-9888 and visit them at 10184 Warwick Boulevard in the Hilton section of Newport News.
For over 25 years, people have counted on one name for all their residential and commercial moving needs. A friendly and affordable mover. No job is too big or too small, and they will assist you with your best interest in mind. Always providing free estimates, a friendly and affordable mover is a company you can count on. Have peace of mind on your next move with a friendly and affordable mover. Call 689-0935 or log on to lovemymover.com. The place to go for U.S. rare coins is Newcastle Coins and Collectibles in Chesapeake. They specialize in U.S. and silver and gold coins and provide free verbal offers and are always buying U.S. rare coins. Newcastle Coins and Collectibles, 681 North Battlefield Boulevard in Chesapeake, across from Chesapeake General, open Tuesday through Saturday and always online at NewcastleCollectibles.com. Call 757-609-3633, 757-609-3633 for Newcastle Coins and Collectibles. Now back to Greg Bicouvaris and Sports Scene in the Hampton Roads Online Mall.com studio.
Baby, I'm playing on you tonight. Hunt you down, eat you alive. Just like animals, animals like animals. Maybe you think that you can hide. I can smell yourself from Mars. Just like
All right, back live right here on the radio, 1650 AM, 10,000-watt voice of Hampton Roads. Don't forget, HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com. Browse, shop, visit. Great sponsors like 2 Left Feet as well. Just click the image, takes you right to their website, HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com. Hope you enjoyed Jay Randolph, formerly of NBC Sports. Also, Karen Hall from the Virginia Pork Festival. And to knock off all that food, you need to dance and dance the night away. Rick Tvelia of 2 Left Feet. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing very well. Thank you, Greg.
Very good. Tell us about the business. Of course, it's really evolved on the peninsula.
Yes, we opened actually in September, just last year, September 5th, so we've only been in business about 8 months. We have been very, very successful so far. In October of 2014, the Colonial Shag Club decided to rent my space every Saturday night, so they have been very big supporters of 2 Left Feet. And, of course, when you're first starting a business, they have been very, very helpful in making sure that I make my rent payment every month, which is very important when you first start a business. But we offer all kind of dancing. We've been very successful with our Latin dances. That's the salsa, the rumba, the bachata, cha-cha, things like that. But we offer, all of the ballroom dances, waltz, tango, rumba, East Coast swing, West Coast swing, and besides being a pretty big success so far, it's been a labor of love for me, so it's been a great business to be in.
You're right there in the Killen Creek section. Tell us about it, your location and your website.
Yes, we're at 1405 Units N and M, Kiln Creek Parkway. It's in Newport News, but it's the Kiln Creek section, and it's kind of York County. It's pretty close to the York County line. Our website is real simple. It's 2 Left Feet, dancestudio.net. And, of course, we also are on Facebook, and that's 2 Left Feet Dance Studio 757. Please like us on Facebook. That's always a big help.
And your friend, of course, has a place in Williamsburg.
That's correct. We don't call ourselves sister dance studios because we're 2 men that own dance studios. So we kind of call ourselves brother dance studios.
Right.
We are affiliated and associated with 7 Cities Ballroom up in Williamsburg.
Very good, of course. There's something for everyone, correct, Rick? You're never too young or too old to learn dancing.
Oh, exactly. We have young kids come in their teens to people literally in their 80s.
And you can see their link on HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com. Both locations, just click the image right there. It'll take you to their websites as well. Any hours or specific events coming up this summer?
Well, we have ballroom dances the 1st, 3rd, and 5th, if there is a 5th Friday of every month. We have the Colonial Shag Club every Saturday night. Also, the first dance is free to people who come. So we have a dance, for example, this Friday night. It starts at 7:30, and it is free the first time you come through the doors for the ballroom, for 2 Left Feet. Sometimes people show up for Shag Club thinking that's free. I don't have any control over that, although it's only $7 to come in for the Shag Club. The first time to a ballroom dance at 2 Left Feet, which are on Friday nights, is free.
Right there in Killen Creek, correct?
Right there in Kiln Creek, 1405 Kiln Creek Parkway. It's in the subdivision near the 7-Eleven, and I'll give a plug for the Vineyards restaurant because people seem to know the Vineyards, and we're 2 doors from the Vineyards Italian restaurant.
Not too far from the airport. Rick, all the best, my friend, and we look forward to talking to you soon.
Thank you very much, Greg.
My pleasure. Rick Tvelia right there from Two Left Feet. Ken, let's get to what teased me off.
What tees you off? Presented by GJBTV.com.
I'll get Ken's comments toward the end. People who say hello online but not in person. Really? People who overly stare at Ken when people watching.
Oh, yeah, that's a little creepy.
I mean, yeah, how about just gentle, glasses that, you have water in the glass can and it soaks and you see the water seeping through the bottom of the glass on the table, especially on humid days like this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. The whole FIFA soccer thing, what a joke.
Who didn't know that organization was corrupt? Come on.
Whose idea was to do real estate taxes twice a year? Not once, but twice a year. Really?
And do we really need real estate taxes? You're paying just to own something?
Yeah. How about Little League and dance parents this time of the year? Oh, Johnny should be playing more or wearing hot uniforms and dancing in 100-degree weather. This is for your kids, folks, not you. Think about your kids. How about in moderation? Early morning, late evening. Panhandlers on the street. Simply get a job. The Kardashians and the family, please go away at this point. People who are expressionless when sharing emotions or thoughts like vanilla or blank as well. And, of course, the whole thing about everything else is just minutia. Well, great guests, Jay Randolph, Karen Hall, Rick Tvelia, really from NBC Sports, formerly from the Virginia Pork Festival and Two Left Feet Dance Studio. Go by and see his website on HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com. Several businesses, several dozen on HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com. Go to GJBTV.com. Hit the YouTube link for Sports Scene. We'll be back next Wednesday from 12 to 1 right here on 1650 AM. TuneIn.com. Type in WHKT. For Ken Johnson, I'm Greg Bicouvaris. Happy Wednesday. We'll talk to you soon.